Welcome back to the Uninkable Dads podcast. Stick around for set champs breakdowns, the deck lists you need to know about, and all the Lorcana news, and plenty of dad jokes. I'm Grandad Glenn, and my co-host, as always, is the man who treats his deck choice like a wardrobe change. 1 minute he's on control, the next he's gone full discard. He's predicted more metas than a weather app in a hurricane season, and somehow he's usually right. It's the Sultan of Spice, the only man who brings a meme deck to a meta war and somehow wins. It's FPS Madness. So,
thank you very much.
Evening FPS. How are things with you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. It's been a good week. It's been a good week. I'd like to jump in though before we jump into this week in the ink. That I've actually got a little bit of a surprise for you. So
that worries me.
Today's episode is technically a sponsored episode.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. So today on the episode, we'd like to give a massive shout out to the Laser Outlet. Now, they have hit us up with some deck boxes. Now, not just any deck boxes. This one's yours. I haven't opened your one. Don't worry. But they have very kindly supplied us with some Lorcana themed deck boxes.
Nice.
With the Uninkable Dads logo on it.
Very nice.
And obviously, as everyone knows, you got to stay uninkable.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I've actually got some pictures here so people can see it a little bit better. But yeah, these are our own deck boxes that they made for us with our own branding on. So
fabulous.
We've got the Lorcana like a lore symbol on the side, and then obviously stay uninkable on the inside. So we'd like to give them a massive shout out. We'll leave all their links and everything in the description and everything below. We have links to basically everything they have for us. They have sent us.
Awesome. So, what was the name again? While you're finding that,
it is the Laser Outlet. So we have linked to their link tree, and from there you'll be able to find their Insta, their Facebook, their store online where you can pick up your own deck box, including the Uninkable Dads one. So you can go and order your own Uninkable Dads deck box if you want one.
Awesome.
Or their Etsy, which is also, they're all on there. You've got all different colours, so you can go on and pick your colour, and they're on there as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and this is,
we will leave link to that.
I mean, this is Jamie, who's just a thoroughly nice guy. I've met around at set champs and things. So, yes, it's awesome that we get given some deck boxes, and we can take them around and use them. They look absolutely awesome. But we would be giving Jamie a shout out with his new venture, regardless, to be honest. So do look them up. Their merch is awesome. It's really good quality stuff. I'm really excited to get my hands on that deck box actually, because that laser printing just looks really, really good. So
I will be taking my deck and sticking it in this for Friday.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so cool. As I say, just a genuinely nice guy that runs it, I believe, with his wife. So they will look after you. So yeah, look them up if you're looking for some customized stuff. And if you're getting the Uninkable Dad's name out there, send us a pic of you with your deck box with the Uninkable Dad's logo on it. That would be absolutely awesome.
Definitely. We'd love to give you a shout out for it.
Yeah. We will certainly be around at set champs sporting the logo now, not just on the shirt, but on the deck boxes as well.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we're not going to be. You're not going to be able to miss us.
It's pretty cool. And from what I could see is, he's giving me a ruby amethyst matching deck box.
I went with the red one for you.
Awesome.
I stole the green one because it matches my sleeves. I'm not going to lie. So I was like, oh, that matches perfectly. So, and also, while we're on a little bit of news, if you are watching this and you think, how on earth did I ever even record that? We are now live on Twitch. So we stream the background and the behind the scenes of what's going on over on Twitch. So if you ever wonder how we do the podcast, you can jump over there and have a look. Unfortunately, there isn't full spoilers because you can only hear me. So you can't hear Glenn, so you don't get the full podcast, but you do get a little bit of behind the scenes. And it's really good that you can come and ask us live questions. So we are recording pretty much every Wednesday evening. So you'll be able to jump on there. And if I spot your question, we can do it live on the podcast. So
awesome. Yeah, pretty lucky they can't hear me. So that's all right. I feel a bit more relieved about that one.
Yeah, it's only one way. They can only hear me. So
it's normally your editing skills that get us out of trouble. So
yeah, it's fun. I'm sure we can edit live, can't we? Can we do that? Is that the thing? So yeah. So how has your week been?
It's been all right. Yes. July's a crazy month of birthdays for our lot. So we had another one today. 3-year-old grandson's birthday. So there's been a bit of prep for that. So it's all been a bit busy with all of that, but that's all been good fun.
Nice.
But yeah, Lorcana's been interesting. You know, I took Blurple Control into an Amber Steel aggro meta, which was rather like bringing chess pieces to a boxing match. By the time I'd stabilised, they'd already gone out for celebratory ice cream. Yeah. So yeah, we've got a bit more to talk about. Hopefully, we talk about your set champs runs, but yeah, it was something of a humbling experience actually. I started the day with the first round bye, which meant I had a win under my belt. I had the opportunity to walk around the room, see what everyone was playing. So I was in the best position of anyone.
I was going to say that is literally the
tournament.
ultimate, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely. Felt good. Felt happy with my deck choice, even though I knew there were some decks in the room that were going to cause me problems.
Yeah.
Hope that I'd avoid them and I'd be okay. Didn't avoid them. Ended the day in last place.
Is that where you finished? I didn't actually look. To be
finished last. That is the. I'm sure it's not the only time, but it's the first time I finished rock bottom last in a set champ. So yeah, that was a humbling experience. But you know, bunch of nice people. You know, had some good conversations with people. Actually learned a lot. Played a Blurple Mirror. Got absolutely schooled by a guy who is a fantastic player. Who gave me some really good tips and really good advice on lines and things after the game, which was awesome. I then asked him how long he'd been playing Blurple, and he told me he picked up for the first time the day before. I said to him, what was he doing the day before, practicing? He said, no, I had another tournament. How did you get on? I won it. Okay.
Fair enough.
But no, lovely guy. Phenomenally good player. Just played lines I just didn't even see. But yeah, as I say, was gracious. Yeah, it was gracious enough to sit down and have a chat afterwards. So yeah, I think that's always good. Come away having learnt something, then you've gained something. So yeah, that was pretty good. Following that though, I did go back to the drawing board, and I thought, what am I going to play? I don't think I can do that again. As I just ran into two. I mean, playing Blurple, I was unfortunate enough that there was somebody that was playing the absolute hard counter to Blurple in the room, and I ran into him and just had no agency in the game at all. There was just nothing I could do. And then ran into Aggro Amber Steel, which did everything that Aggro Amber Steel can possibly do.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
you don't need to tell me about Amber Steel.
You had a few of them, didn't you? But yeah, so I thought, no, I've got no problem with losing. That's absolutely fine. it didn't feel nice having absolutely no agency.
Yeah,
Really sitting there going, I just don't think there's anything I can do
yeah.
to turn this around or do anything in this match. Didn't feel good, so that's my fault. Bad deck choice. But yeah, it sent me back to the drawing board, and I'm brewing something up that's a bit spicy, that's a bit different.
Nice, nice.
So yeah, well,
Like a bit of spice.
exactly. So I thought, yeah, I've sort of been playing meta decks and tweaking meta or near meta
Mm,
decks for a little while. Why not actually properly have a go at building something myself
nice.
from a bit of a scatterbrained idea of could this possibly work? And I'm enjoying it. So whether it's
Well, that's half the battle, isn't it? So
exactly whether it's the right thing, I don't know. But yeah, we'll bring it along Friday, see how it runs, and we'll go
nice,
from
nice.
there.
I like it. It's always good if you can find a deck that you enjoy playing. Like you say, that is half the battle. You're always going to play it, be more engaged and more like really want to play if it's a deck that you enjoy playing. If you don't enjoy the deck, you're going to struggle to enjoy the game. So it's always going to be a negative on it. So but yeah, I think my week was alright. I can't even remember what I did on Friday now. How did I do on Friday? Can't even remember what I played. I genuinely can't remember how Friday went. I played so much Lorcana over the weekend, it was insane. So I actually was a little bit crazy and did back-to-back set champs. So I did one on Saturday and one on Sunday. The one on Saturday is obviously the one that I attended with you. I also took purple. I was like, it's a strong deck into most things. I know how to play it quite well now. I should be okay. 4 rounds of Amber Steel where they won the dice roll every round. By the end of that, I was done. I was not touching that deck again. I was like, no, that's it. Right out the window. I did win one of them. No, I won 2. So it was turn 2. So I ended up middle and I just bubbled out a top 8. So I think I finished 9th. So it was 16 people. So it was only 4 rounds and a top 4 cut. So even if I'd made 8, I wouldn't have got a top cut, but I would have at least got the Jafar. But yeah, and then I come home and I was like, I'm not playing purple again. I can't. The set champs I was going to was literally 4 doors down from where this one was. And I was like, there's no way that people aren't going to be running Amber Steel. They're literally 4 doors away. There's going to be people from this one there. And I decided to change it up. So I went for a little bit of an oddball curve and I decided to take green steel, which was good. It wasn't easy. There wasn't as much Amber Steel, but we did get the Jafar. So we did all right. We also pulled an Enchanted Perdita, but that's a story for in a sec. So I took Amber Steel and I drew into. So we got the Jafar. This was the list. I'll bring up the deck list in a little bit better in a second. But in round 1, I went up against Red Blue, won that 2-0. So I was feeling quite confident, quite strong going out of round 1. Round 2, I drew into Green Purple Tempo, and it was a hard deck to face. It was a mix between Tempo and Discard. It wasn't full Discard, it wasn't full Tempo. It had the Diablos and stuff. That was the deck that I very quickly learned that my Diablo up against Red Purple, just don't bother playing it because it's never going to survive. They've got Pan, they've got Elsa, they've got so many options to get rid of it. It wasn't worth playing. Round 3, I played another bloke who was playing Green Purple Tempo. Again, same thing. I tried Diablo at one point, realised very quickly it didn't work. So took a break. That game finished very, very quickly. So I managed to go get something to eat, reset, come back in, and then I had Blue Steel aggro, and I basically discarded him down to he was top decking by 3-4 ink. So from there, I pretty much controlled the game because he was just drawing stuff off top. At one point, he had to ink twice in a row because everything he was drawing, he didn't have nothing to play, and he knew if he kept it in hand, I was just going to discard it. So that was quite nice. Just 2 turns of him just putting his top deck straight into the ink. And then I finished it off with a green purple, but a discard deck, which I won. And that was a very, very close game. It was basically who could keep Prince John on the board. And I got lucky. I drew into a couple of storms with Ursula in play and managed to deal with his board. And then I faced the guy who I played in round 3 in the top 8. And again, it was just way too quick. I could discard him. He was top decking by about turn 4 or 5. But I used Pete to challenge into something and left 4 damage on Pete, and he top decked to go for the win. So a nice 4-point go, which, it is what it is. But yeah, that was a tough one. But I think the switch to green steel definitely made a difference. Unfortunately, I didn't play any amber steel, so I wouldn't know how good it actually was into amber steel, which is typical. But it seemed to do okay up against anything else that I played. So
it shows how difficult picking the meta is right now, right? So, as you say, the tournament's 4 doors down from where we played on the Saturday. Saturday was 13 players. There were 5 Blurple. There were 5 Amber Steel. I think 3 of those were aggro. There were 2 red-blue. 1 was items, 1 was shark. And there was a single green-purple. And yet, the next day, you're thinking...
I think there was like 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
In the room. It was crazy.
So,
I don't know whether Blurple would have done okay against Green Purple. I haven't really tested the matchup that much, but I don't think it's a very favoured one because of the amount of aces there. Because normally you win the war by having more aces on board, and it's so difficult to do against that deck. So I was happy with my choice. Like I said, I got the Jafar, so I can't complain. And I enjoyed the day, so it was good. But it has made me think. Maybe I should need to try and test up some other decks.
But it was interesting because we're sort of saying Blurple was tough, and Blurple was tough on Saturday, but there was a Blurple deck that made it into the top 4. I didn't see what his run was. I would imagine he would have had to have avoided the green purple. I think he did. I don't think he played the green purple because that was absolutely a hard counter for Blurple. But so Saturday was Blurple, red blue items. No, 2 Blurples, right? 2 slightly different Blurple lists.
Well, obviously Panos, a local player that we obviously had and did the interview with, he was pretty much running a mirror deck of mine. Mine and his were almost identical. And I bubbled out of top 8 and he got to the second.
Yeah. And the guy he was playing a deck that was almost the mirror of my deck.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the Tamatoas. He wasn't playing the Tamatoas.
No, exactly.
And he was in top 4 and I was holding up the rest.
It shows just how important matchups are. You can take this deck and do as well as you possibly can, but if you get really bad matchups for you, it happens. It's like I say, mine and Pansel's deck were almost identical, yet he managed to get that deck to second, and I struggled against 4 rounds of Amber Steel. So. But I was having a look at how the current set champs meta seems to be working out. And it's really, really surprising because we looked at the top 4 decks from set champs, so not the top 8, only the top 4, because a lot of these, if they don't have more than 16 players, there's only a top 4 cut anyway. So we looked at the top 4 to see who's really pushing and making that like the real top. And 13 Amber Steel decks made top 4, and 5 of them went on to win. So the conversion rate there is mental compared to if you look at Green Purple, where 10 of them made top 4 and only 1 of those decks won. So it shows just how strong Amber Steel is at the minute.
And where's Red Blue?
Exactly. Red Blue seems to be making it to top 8. And I think that when I look back, that there had been a couple more red blue decks, and obviously there are set jumps that haven't been uploaded to this, hence our set jumps, which I've got the deck list for that in a second. We'll have a look. So obviously that's not on the website, but from the information we have, there wasn't any that made top 4. A lot of them are in the top 8, but they're not hitting that top 4. And the big one that surprised me was red purple. If you look, the top 4 decks currently most of them have a red-purple deck in it. They're all running the Evasive Sharks, and it's kind of the best answer to Amber Steel. It's, you've got that rush, you've got been able to get on the board quick. They can't challenge you back if you've got Evasives on board, and you've got Pirate's Life to keep knocking them back again. So it's an interesting one. I thought it was quite an interesting sort of way that it seems to be working out. And blue-purple, again, 10 people, 10 decks made top 4, but only 2 of them went on to win it. So...
Okay. And the nice thing at the moment is there are varieties around. I know there was an Amber Steel. So the top 4 on Saturday was 2 purple, red blue items, and an Amber Steel songs. But it was quite different Amber Steel songs. So it was playing the Namari, it was playing the big Cindy in there.
It's more of a traditional Amber Steel, wasn't it, as such? It had a couple of little curves in there, but it was what you'd call like almost old school Amber Steel. So we actually have the winner from the one we went to on Saturday, his deck list. So this was the red blue items he was playing, and it was a crazy last game. I think you had a picture at one point, wasn't he, on something like 22 ink or something?
Oh yeah, yes, I did. It got absolutely nuts. I mean, it was awesome. Great for us. So out of the group of us that travelled to playing this set champs, we had the pleasure of watching our friend Michael against our friend Panos in the final. So that was absolutely awesome. Yeah, really intense match actually. All three games were fantastic games. But yeah, that last one, there was just ink all over the shop.
Yeah.
They just kept, sort of pushing each other back down, and Michael just had to build up those items, and then the dime to the win in the end. But
good old Tamatoyo dime for the win, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no, we didn't get Tamatoyo in the end, I don't think. Did he?
No, I think he dimed off Sisu.
Yeah,
in the end to get over the line. But yeah, fantastic game. Two great players. So it was a pleasure to stay and be able to watch them tussle it out. I mean, in the semi-final, I was watching, and Michael at one point had 5 cards in hand, which were all uninkable, and somehow managed to play his way out of that. So all credit to him for doing that and managed to take away the win. But yeah, this is still a crazy deck when it runs, when it does the thing it wants to do. It's just nuts.
Yeah, I don't know whether just the last 2 weeks everyone's been highly teching against this deck, maybe, or because I did find it very weird that you don't have many red blues in the top 4. Like I say, I think if we redid those figures and did it for the top 8, you'll probably find there's a lot more of them. But I wanted to pick like the real decks that really, really shone, and yeah, it really surprised me. I've got to be surprised. And I was, like I said, I was more surprised the fact of how many red purples there were.
That sapphire coil. I mean, when I played Michael a few weeks ago, and he brawled my Monstro.
Yeah.
I mean, I was suffering from him taking everything off the board that I put on the board. So right, I'm going to slap down Monstro here, because you ain't getting rid of that with 6 strength. And so yeah, he just double sapphire called it and brawled it. Fair enough.
Nice. Well, I suppose that's one way to deal with Monstro, isn't it? So going into this week, I was thinking, I don't think either of us are doing set jumps this week, are we?
No, it's not this weekend.
Next weekend.
Next weekend
we've got our home store. So yeah, we've got a week off this week. I'm gonna take it a bit easy, try not to play too much online and stress about my deck, and we'll go from there. But talking of our home store, we actually have a little bit of news from them on under 18s tournament. So it is obviously summer holidays pretty much either started where you are, or if it hasn't started, it will be very shortly. So we've got a under 16s Lorcana event on the 8th and the 22nd of August from 1 p.m. And that's, I think that was like £7, and you get like a Floodborn booster pack. Obviously, it will be Floodborn. But yeah, so that is actually an under 16s event. Under 18. No, is it 16 or 18? Let me check this before I say the wrong thing. Under 18s. So yeah, so if you've got any kids that want to get out there and try a little bit of Lorcana, but they're not quite confident to play against adults just yet, you do have the under 18s tournament. They are also running them for Pokemon, One Piece, and a Dungeons and Dragons event as well. So yeah, that's our local store. That's obviously Geek Chelmsford. Cool. So check it out. I'm going to try and get Millie to it if I can, but it's obviously I'm at work, but I'm going to see what I can do on that one.
Cool. Bit of play testing with Lily then.
Yeah, I think she'll really enjoy that one, I think. So, and then the other event we just want to give them a shout out quickly is the Fable release. 1st of August, the Fable release weekend, we're going to be doing a super sealed event. So, which will be 6 packs of Fable. And you then build a 40 card deck with up to 3 ink colours. So yeah, awesome. I'm looking forward to that one. That should be a.
It's my birthday, so I get 7 packs and 4 ink colours, right?
You can have 7 packs
and still come last.
7 packs and 3 ink colours, I think is fine. You can have an extra pack. We'll give you an extra one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That one should be good. I think there should be a few of us turn up for that, and be interesting to see what people go with sealed. So far, don't want to get too much of a big head here, but I'm the Pack Crush undefeated champ.
Yeah.
So someone's got to knock me off from peg at some point.
Okay. So yeah, if you fancy challenging Michael, Geek Retreat Chelmsford. So look them up, Facebook or online. They have a website. But yeah, regular Lorcana events. Friday night is our usual regular tournament, but set champs, super sealed. Yeah, we try and do some kind of theme tournament once a set if we can. So yeah, always lots of stuff going on. We love to see new players come down and join us. So yeah, get yourself down.
Yeah, definitely. So going on to Lorcana news. So we have some new news that there is no news on online client yet. So yeah, spoiler alert for that one. New news that no news. But no news.
But they did say,
in this case, isn't good news.
But they did say they're aware of the need for an online client, and it is something that is, they at least kind of let us know it's coming. It's not in vain. It will be here at some point. They just didn't say what century.
Yeah, well, exactly. So if anyone who doesn't watch it, it was obviously talked about slightly on the Lorecast, which is on Thursday night at 6 p.m. UK time. Not every Thursday, but they seem to be at the minute. So we're on a good run at the minute. And basically they had JD Quest on there, and he just sat down and went, look, I'm just going to ask the question when we're getting an online client. And, he did say, it's something they want. It's something they know there's a need for. It's just a case of, I think it's the Disney, Disney IP. It's not going to be easy to get that through the paperwork and the red flags and everything you've got to get done. So I don't imagine it's going to be anything quick, but hopefully, it is on its way at some point. But we do have some actual new news, and you haven't seen this yet. So we have a set 10 card.
Ooh. I say ooh with excitement and ooh with cracky. We haven't even got to set 9.
No, this is going to be a promo you can pick up at Gen Con. So this is why it's been released. But we have a new ability / effect / condition. If we read this carefully, so for anyone who's listening on Spotify, we have Goofy, Emerald Champion. He's a 3/5 cost uninkable card. He quests for 2. but he has 2 abilities. One of them, even the score. Whenever one of your other emerald characters is challenged and banish the challenging character. So we now have color locked conditions, which is quite interesting.
Okay. Yeah,
so
that is interesting.
Yeah, because I think that really adds. It's a bit.
And then
It's a bit like your weak card, but not. If that makes
yeah,
sense.
and his second ability, you got the same thing. So you provide
Yeah.
cover. Your other emerald characters gain ward. Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
which
a
I
really
think is a nice
interesting
way of doing
mechanic.
it, because if they lock this into, say, blue, green, it might not see much play, but it being free and open, you can still get the ability of your emerald characters. You can still give your emerald characters ward, but you can chuck it in a ruby deck. You can chuck it in a steel deck. You know, you can really flexible with what you want to do with this, but it's still conditional to that color. So I really like that. I think.
Or you can go really spicy. And is this what they're trying to push towards?
What, solo green?
Play a mono-color deck. We've
Yeah,
not seen that
I
yet.
mean,
We've not seen that yet, you know?
No. I mean, it's possible. I mean,
I still think you'll splash a colour in, right? But you might build if we're going to get effects like this, you might say, I want to maximize that effect, therefore I need the vast majority of cards in my deck to
like
be this color.
Yeah.
But you might, and you might just splash whatever you need.
Thing
you splash your card draw, or splash your removal.
To make a monocolor deck. So, argument's sake, say if you're playing this but without steel, but you want some removal, there could be a condition, and this is in other TCGs, that if your deck is solely emerald, this card does this. You know, so that way it could be like, I don't know, I'm just going to use a random one off the top of my head, but like Grab a Sword, for instance, but I don't know, say it's a Peter Pan. You play this Peter Pan and he does 2 damage across the board if your deck is solely green.
Yeah.
So that way you can't run him in anything else, but if it gives you a little bit of removal within a solo color. So
I like the idea, but I wonder if it's a bit too much for Lorcana at the moment, because that suggests.
Yeah, I mean, we are talking 6 months away for this.
Yeah, but also it suggests you need deck lists and stuff. A lot of even set champs at the moment, don't ask for deck lists now. I think they should.
This is true,
but that's a different conversation. But Lorcana is trying to stay around the friendly competitive sort of area, and I think if you have cards like that, you kind of have to have deck lists.
Yeah, but the only thing is that would be very obvious. You know, they go to ink and amber card, and you'd be like, hang on a minute, you know. So I don't know, but it's interesting. It's a new type of card, and I think it's gonna. I wonder if there's going to be any other things in. What is it? It's Whispers in the Well, isn't it?
Whispers in the Well, yeah. I mean, the artwork's gorgeous. I mean, yeah. Pretty much say this every set, because every set of the artwork's gorgeous. But I really like that. I like Goofy as a character anyway, and this just looks like a really, really nice, well laid out card. Interesting. Not quite sure what he's doing. He's got some sort of enchanted paperwork flying around him. Or are they they're glimmers?
I don't think he's flying, because if you look at his body, like the way he's standing, I reckon he's in the well, like surrounded by water, because of the way the rope's floating and stuff. Because if he was flying, it'd be dangling down, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe he's in the well.
That makes sense. In the well, and then these look like glimmers floating around him. Yeah, glimmers on paper, wishes, and he's carrying. Yeah. Is he carrying, or there's some sort of orb thing in front of him?
Yeah,
maybe that's what he's after. I don't know. Yeah, maybe he's gone down into the well to get something.
Be interesting to see. But yeah, that was a new one. So if anyone that is lucky enough to be either going to Gen Con or know someone who is, they can grab them one, that will be one of the promos there at Gen Con. So
nice.
I think one was the Pluto and Elsa or Anna, one of the two that we've already got as promos, but that's a completely new one. Okay, so just because we're taking a week off Set Champs doesn't mean that anyone else will be. So we've got a couple of Set Champs decks to have a quick look at, and one of them we wanted to check out because it hit the maximum on the spiciness scale. It's off the charts. It's 2 rounds of Vindaloo followed by a chicken tikka. It was a blue amber deck. Now, this deck just looks crazy. I've seen a few blue-red, I'm so used to saying blue-red, blue-amber decks, but 4 Prince Naveen? That's crazy for considering there's only 8 songs in the deck. Or am I just seeing this wrong?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's obviously looking to hit down in New Orleans and then hit one of your big characters off of that. Calhoun in here.
You've got Sale, so I suppose... Well, this is true. This is very true. Yeah, you got Sale, so I suppose you can get to turn 4 and 5 relatively quick, but there's a lot of 6 costs in here. What's that, 10, 16 6-drop cards, which is huge. I know obviously with New Orleans you're going to be playing it for free, but that's still a lot. But yeah, did it make top 8? I think it was somewhere around there, wasn't it? Or it was close to it. So
yeah,
it did quite well.
Did well. So yeah,
you're going to catch people out, aren't you?
Put this together, yeah.
I think the Ludwig von Drake is quite good as well because it stops the songs, it stops potentially ramp even in mirror because it's basically bare necessities on a character, so you can do so much with it. But yeah, it's an interesting deck. I don't know if I'd quite play it myself.
It's I think this is a deck that you would have had to have tested quite a lot and worked out what the lines
you
were,
need to work out what to do against each matchup, don't you?
I mean, it's got bodies that can definitely hold the damage for Rapunzel.
Mm-hmm.
I think card draw might be the thing that this might struggle with. I guess that's why the Robin Hood is in there.
Yeah, but then you got Popsicle and Tamatoa.
You've got Popsicle and Tamatoa, yeah. You've only got 3 Tamatoa.
Yeah, maybe they didn't. They only owned 3. It's quite possible.
Possibly, because I think given the lack of, you got Grand Metalla in there as well,
Gaston as well.
Yeah, Rapunzel, I guess. So yeah, no, interesting.
Maybe we'll do a couple of tests with this and see how we get on. But yeah, it just definitely made us laugh because it was off the scale for spiciness. They didn't know how high to rate it. It was off into the land of I don't know what I'm going to say there, so I'm just going to stop. But yeah, it looks very interesting, and we may have to test this one. But so yeah, the deck that I think obviously a lot of people may now think about taking to their set champs is obviously red purple. We've seen that it's obviously done quite well. The conversion rate for it's been quite high, but we found one that's a little bit different. So a Yen Sid evasive deck, which is new. They're only running 4 brooms, which I find a little bit low. There are other brooms in purple that you could potentially stick in. But I suppose just drawing a card off Yensid's good enough. It'd be nice if it quested for free, but I suppose it's not the end of the world. Getting an extra card on turn 2 is always good. So, yeah, I'm not sure on Yensid here.
Not sure on Yensid. It's playing 3 of this 2-cost Ursula.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wonder if you're playing that Ursula, why you wouldn't play the Sea Witch Queen.
Yeah.
7 cost. Shifts for 5. Shuts down songs. Pretty relevant in the current meta. And more importantly, you can sing Be Prepared on turn 5.
This is true. This is true. But then this deck isn't really built to struggle against aggro anyway, is it? So
no, it's not. But,
But you can as a worst case, as a backup.
I mean,
This is true.
If you can do these things, you got to do
So
these
there you go.
things.
So take out the NSID, stick in Ursula, and if it doesn't work, blame Glenn.
Most of my deck building doesn't work, so but it's fun, you know. If you want to do,
This is again, we're back to as long as you're having fun. What does it really matter?
absolutely. No, this looks really interesting, right? You've got,
Mm.
you know, you've got enough card draw here. You've got the genies, you've got the friends on the other side, you've got plenty of removal, really, with B King. You've got Brawl, and then with your Peter Pan into your sort of Iagos, Maui, Lady Tremaine. So there's lots of,
There's lots of
there's lots of
options,
ways to
definitely.
control your opponent's deck. There's lots of ways to draw cards, finders keepers in there as well. There's that horrible Pirate's Life, which I just hate playing against. Such a powerful card, especially with Maui. So yeah, it definitely looks a deck that could handle
Pretty much anything you
the
throw at it.
aggro, pretty much anything, yeah. But the aggro Amber Steel, especially, this looks like a very good answer to that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's definitely got strong contentions. I mean, they won. There was about a 26 play, I think it was, or higher set champs, and they won the set champs with this. So it's obviously done extremely well. And yeah, just so we can get it in there on the episode, just one for Ryan. I mean, you've got Diablo and Magic Broom and Library, so what more could you want? So, but yeah, but yeah, I think it's a very strong deck, and I will be very, very tempted to try this at our home set champs. I think this has definitely got a chance. Maybe not this exact build, obviously. I'll play around with this, but the color combination is something I think I'm definitely interested in trying for our set champs. So, spoiler alert there. Give away what I'm playing already. Look, 2 weeks before we're even going to play it.
Do you think there's any world where Rabbit comes back? I mean, Genie seems to be the one, but other decks are so kind of teched into the evasive game now.
Yeah.
Genie often doesn't get the value that you want him to get.
Yeah, I think the issue is you have to play the bounce package, don't you, to have Rabbit? So you have to have the 2 and the 3 cost bounce to really get the most out of the Rabbit, because you just want to keep playing it. It's always going to draw you 2 cards. It's always going to draw you 1 when you play it and 1 when it gets banished, which is more than Genie, So there's a potential that technically you're going to get more card draw from it, but I think in most of these decks, that 2 lore and it being evasive is more important. The fact it's more likely to stick on board, so you can keep questing with it, and it gives you evasive answers for some other bits. But yeah, I mean, is there a world where you play both? Do you take out some of the other Uninkables and just go full Genie, full Rabbit?
Yeah, certainly be plenty of card draw.
Yeah,
plenty
drop
of choice.
friends, drop everything else, just Genie and Rabbit. What more could you want?
Yeah. Don't worry about discard anymore.
Yeah, that's it. It's impossible for them to discard you if every single card you play says draw a card. I mean, that deck's probably not that far off it, to be fair. So yeah, I think before we wrap this week up, is there anything else you'd like to add on?
Well, yeah, there is actually. So, look, thank you for watching. Thank you very much for watching the last podcast. So we had, it was either nearly or over 800 views on the last podcast. We've had some great interaction with people, so thank you. We really appreciate you watching, but we love it when you write in. If you drop us a comment, we will always look to respond to those. Those people that have emailed in, it's fantastic to connect with you all in the local community, and we're on the verge of 200 subscribers, which is again fantastic. We're so pleased to have that. So if you are watching, you haven't as yet subscribed, click that subscribe button, push us over the edge, be our 200th subscriber. We would appreciate that greatly. But also, we still want to hear about your set champs. So if you have won a set champs, if you've come top 8, if you've gone to your first set champs, or you've taken a spicy deck to set champs, whatever it is, if you want a shout out on the podcast, then let us know. Just you can drop in the comments below, or you can send us an email, catch us on socials. We'd be very happy to give you a shout out for your successes, or your endeavours at set champs. If you tried something different and it didn't go to plan, we all know how that feels. That happens to us all. So, however it's gone, let us know. And if you want to shout out on the podcast, we'll be happy to do that.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, talking on the shout out on the podcast, obviously, we'd like to end it just as a reminder to everyone. Say a massive thank you, obviously, to the laser outlet. I will definitely be using this on Friday. I'm excited to run this and see the surprised look on everyone when we show up with our own deck boxes. So cool. Massive shout out again to them. And yeah,
they look awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to work out, is there a special deck I need to put in this? Is this the set champs winning deck in this box? Right, this is it. You buy this box, you win set champs.
It's got to
be, So yeah, no, massive thank you to them again, and please, feel free to check them out. They don't just do deck boxes; they do loads of stuff. So, have a look on their pages and see if there's anything you fancy. So yeah, I think that is it. That is,
well, actually, it's maybe not, because we haven't done the flavor text game.
Oh my god! As if I
can't miss that one.
As if I nearly forgot.
There are a few. There were a few people worried there. They were sitting there waiting for the flavor text game, pen and paper in hand. So if you're still waiting for the flavor text game, drop us a like if you haven't done that as yet. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that as yet. Drop us a comment, and in just a second, as if by magic, FPS will have the flavor text game.
It's all good. So the flavor text from last week was say, "Let me do it, Mad Dog. It's my turn." So, and that obviously was Dump Truck. So obviously this featured quite heavily on last week's episode. We had someone comment almost instantly on the video saying it was Dump Truck. They knew it straight away. Thank you very much for everyone for reaching out on that one. And the flavor text game for this week is a pen type, which means it's been added on by the devs of the game, and it is featured in the new, what I reckon is going to be the set champs winning deck, the one that's going to be in this deck box, the Ruby Fist Evasives. So that's a massive hint for you. It will be possibly playing that deck. No guarantee, obviously. It's not like a must be in this deck, but it's a high chance of it. And that is the 12th rule of villainy. If you don't have a throne, take one. So once again, that was the 12th rule of villainy. I can't even say that word. Why did I choose something I can't even say? Villainy. Can you say that?
I can, but it's more fun. It's more fun watching you struggle.
Right, so the 12th law of being a villain. If you don't have a throne, take one. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, drop us a comment. Let us know below who you think I butchered the flavor text on that one. So yeah,
yeah, and just to prove that it was the flavor text, Michael will have one with it scribbled out next week.
I mean, you can scribble on your one if you want. I'm not doing it on mine. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's podcast, and we'll be back as always next week. So it's time to roll up that playmat,
pack away the dice.
And remember, stay unequal.
See you next time.
See you next time.